So you've run through all your questions and you've kind of determined what happened. So what can you do if your cat starts peeing? If you don't have the right number of boxes, add one. I will always recommend to start there because you wouldn't believe how many times it actually works. Just doing that, just adding an extra box. And you have to forgive me, there's a lot of noises because my cats are nuts and we just have to deal with it. Try a different litter. Maybe that litter that you're using, they don't like it, or something happened, they don't want to go in there anymore. Try a different litter. That would be something else. Now, this is something I always recommended, but personally never had used it. The last kitten that came through my house was a tiny, tiny little baby. And I don't know if the mom didn't. It also came with raging diarrhea. So my guess is he probably started assimilating the box with pain. And so after a couple days, he would go, let's call it 20% in the box, 80% outside for both pee and poop. So that was a first for me. I have never, ever had any issues with my kittens. They've always been, box trained right away. So I was just, wow, what do I do now, right? I have all those tools, but nothing is really applicable because he was doing both. It didn't seem like there was a logic of why he would go once in and when he would go once outside. So I added a box. That was my first thing. And he started using both. So we get to 50-50. By adding a box, I kind of limited the messes. And mind you, he was in a bathroom, so that was just so much easier to clean. But that was not enough for me. I was just like, this is still not good, right? I'm never going to get that kitten adopted if he's not using the little box reliably. And it wasn't a question of space because he was in a small bathroom, so not much places to go, and you would still find a way of going outside. So often my other recommendation is, well, did you try a leather attractant? But I had personally never used it. Oh my God, this thing it's magic. It is absolutely magic. And I got this one. Again, I think there's different kinds, but this is Dr. Elsey's. They have a leather with the attractant that's made especially for kittens that you can use to get them started. But as you can tell, I've actually used quite a bit because what happened is when I finally let the little one out, my cat decided, ooh, his boxes are way better than ours. So I had to start putting some in theirs, not because they really need it, but I needed to make sure they didn't feel like he was spoiled and they weren't. So it's just a lot of different herbs that just makes it very attractive to them to go in. And that's makes it their choice. Want to say hi, Kiyu? Come here. So that's one of my boy. I'm gonna show you. This is Kiyu, one of my 3. But very always like they like that smell. So see if I just do this. No, he's just not being cooperative. That's okay. Leather attractant, who knew? It works. Like, if you're like me and you're just like, yeah, whatever, it does work. So definitely something to try. And then some people always try to, maybe recommend to put some kind of pheromones to kind of in the area with the boxes, just to try to kind of provide like a relaxing atmosphere in that area. Why not? It can't hurt. I've never really had to do it, so I mean, I don't have a real good sense of whether or not just that by itself would work, but it can't hurt. As I said, it can't never hurt. Now, the one thing I'd like to say, because my issue often is with the cat, with anything really, because we're all the same, and dogs and children and everybody reacts the same, but you always want to reward a good behavior. So the cat goes in the box, you're gonna praise him, you're gonna give him a treat, you're gonna do something like that. Please do not punish the cat for going outside the box. It will create fear. It will just create a whole bunch of other trauma that you will have so much of a harder time, clearing, than if you just kind of take a deep breath, go clean it, and then every time you catch the cat in the box, reward him then. Even voice praises, you'd be amazed. They're cats, everybody thinks they don't care. No, they do react to that. So definitely worth reinforcing. Praise good behavior. Do not punish bad behavior. Please, please, please. Also make sure that the box is in a calm area, right? None of us really like to go, do our business in public. Cats are the same. They just they just private that way. So if you have the little box in the middle of the room or in the passage area, or who knows, it's just like put it in a corner somewhere where it's really quiet that it can just go to and not gonna get interrupted. And especially be mindful of that if you have dogs. Because dogs are notorious to go and disturb the cat when it's doing its business. And that could also be a trigger for the cat to go outside because it got scared in the box one time. And again, they have that association then that something bad, happens there, and they don't go back. So you really don't want that to happen. So always be in a safe area. Now, if you've tried all of this and it's still not working, and sometimes it happens. Now, every now and then, a cat just forgets. Now, why? But sometimes it just forgets. The best solution then is to move the cat in a small room. Bathrooms are great for that for multiple reasons. It's usually small, so they kind of get retrained better that way. And it's also so much easier to clean, right? So you will, as yourself, you won't get as angry when it happens, because I know it's upsetting. And the energy that you will put out there, every time you get angry because of an accident, it stresses your cat. There's no way around it. And so if it kind of relieves some of that stress for you, it's definitely going to relieve the stress on the cat. So small bathroom, if you're dealing with one cat, and if you have multiple cats that are, having issues, then you're going to want to put them in, each of them in a different bathroom or in a different small room. You don't want to put both of them, because then if something happens and you still won't know which one's actually doing good and which one isn't. So you really want to separate. You want 2 boxes in that small room, and really, really let them relearn. And the cat is not getting out of that room until it's going in the box 100% of the time. It can take 2 days. It can take a week. Now, this is not punishment. You're not just like abandoning that cat in the bathroom. You're still going to spend time with him or her in the bathroom, as much as you can, because you're trying to retrain, not to punish. I just want to make sure that people understand that. This is not punishment, right? It's just to give them a chance to get reacquainted with their box. 2 boxes in that room with the litter attractant. I guarantee you, I only had to do that once, and it worked. In 2 days, he was back at using the box, and no accident whatsoever after that. So it does work. It's never easy. It takes time, it takes commitment, but it works. All right. And I guess that's it. So I think I pretty much touched on almost 30 minutes talking. So, but it's a big subject and there was quite a bit to say. So if you have questions, additional questions, if there's something you're not clear on, or anything you want more information on, please feel free to just kind of comment below this video, and I'll be more than happy to answer your questions. And if there's any specific subjects you would like me to discuss. I kind of have made myself a list to get myself started of the questions that come back the most often, right? But if there's anything very pressing that you're dealing with,